Manhattan, the window to the past and the gateway to the future.
Here, my friend, beats the heart of global finance, Wall Street. Less than a kilometer long, yet powerful enough to shake the world's economy. You've surely heard of the stock market, but the New York Stock Exchange is the mother of them all. Founded in 1792, when 24 traders gathered under a tree and signed what became known as the Bretton Woods Agreement. Today, the trades are worth billions, every minute alive with shouting, numbers flashing, and stocks rising and falling like a battlefield, except the bullets here are numbers. Even the strongest economy has faced shocks. America has been shaken many times, yet after every fall came a new rise. And here we stand at the site that shook the world, Ground Zero. The memory of September 11th needs no introduction. This is the very spot where one of the towers once stood before it collapsed. Today, it has been transformed into a memorial, a solemn place of remembrance. As you can see, the names are engraved here, with flowers placed by people remembering their friends and loved ones who lost their lives in this tragedy. The memorial itself is a waterfall endlessly flowing into this vast square void, and right in front of it, rising tall and powerful, stands the new giant. But Manhattan did not surrender. In 2014, One World Trade Center rose proudly, 541 meters tall, the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. A message to the world: we are standing stronger than before. The site of the tragedy is now called Ground Zero, a name that symbolizes how this land began again, rising from nothing. This tower stands tall and proud, and at its top, there's a 360-degree view where you can see all of New York and its surroundings. You can even spot New Jersey from up here. Manhattan's story goes further back. In 1626, Dutchman Peter Minuit bought this very island for goods worth only $24, a deal that seemed like a joke, but became the foundation for the most expensive land on earth. The Dutch named it New Amsterdam, and then in 1664, the English took it without firing a single shot and renamed it New York after the Duke of York. The Dutch called it New Amsterdam, just like anyone who moves abroad and wants to feel at home. That's why they gave it this name. They called it New Amsterdam until in 1664, the British took it without firing a single shot and renamed it New York after the Duke of York. The true genius came in 1811 when New York was planned as a perfect grid of straight streets and blocks. The entire city was first drawn on paper and then brought to life. That's why in Manhattan it's almost impossible to get lost. Imagine they built the city based on paper, a drawing that served as the blueprint for the city. By the 19th century, the island exploded with life. Waves of immigrants poured in from Ireland, Italy, Germany, and beyond. Soho District, an old neighborhood distinguished by its historic buildings with classic designs that were once well known in New York. That's why when you walk around its streets, you feel an amazing and unique atmosphere. And if you're coming to shop, Soho is one of the best places to do so. As you can see, most of the famous brands are found here. In Soho, the old cast iron buildings still stand, giving the streets a unique character. Once home to factories and warehouses, today it's the district of art, fashion, and luxury brands.
الكثير ممكن
Many people might wonder, asking, what are these staircases? Why do they make the buildings look this way? These are fire escapes, safety staircases. If a fire breaks out, God forbid, people can use these stairs to get out. At the end, there's a ladder that's usually pulled up, and when it's needed, they lower it to escape and save themselves, God willing.
ينجو إذا شاء الله.
The cobblestone streets whisper stories of the past. Between 1892 and 1954, over 12 million immigrants entered America through Ellis Island. Many of them walked these very streets, chasing dreams of a new life. I'm in the place full of giant screens, electronics, and dazzling, surreal things all around. Now to the beating neon heart of New York Times Square. Once just farmland for horses, today it's a storm of giant LED screens, glowing ads, and 500,000 people passing every single day. Day and night here feel the same. And when they say New York is the city that never sleeps, this is truly the area that never sleeps. Times Square is the heart of New York that never sleeps. It was once called Longacre Square until 1904, when the New York Times moved its office here and changed the name. From that day on, the place became the center of lights and giant billboards, so bright that if you look at New York from space, the first thing you'll see are the lights of this square. In the 1970s, Times Square was a hub for crime, gangs, prostitution, and many very dark activities. Imagine a palace built above a train station. Yes, this is Grand Central Terminal. It's a train station, but also an architectural masterpiece. It was opened in 1913, and today hundreds of thousands of people pass through it daily. Its ceiling and walls are painted with 50 kilos of gold. And this place holds a secret that many people don't know. Beneath it are hidden passageways that were used during World War II. Everywhere you walk in New York, you'll see something new, something beautiful, something that keeps drawing your attention. And the more you walk through it, the more and more you discover. Underground, there's a whole different world called the subway. And this subway is a story of its own. The oldest line opened in 1904, and today there are 472 stations and more than 800 kilometers of railway tracks. Underground, you see so many things: vendors, people living in the subway, crowds rushing back and forth. One moment it's packed with life, and the next it feels empty, as if no one is in the city.
متخيل
Imagine being in a place surrounded by skyscrapers, cars with their exhaust fumes, smoke from shops and food carts. And then, right in the middle of all this, you find this beautiful, vast park. It's like the lungs of the island, breathing amid all the chaos. A truly magnificent and wonderful reality.
والجزيرة تنفس منها وهي حقيقة جميلة وكبيرة ورائعة.
A creative green masterpiece in the middle of the concrete jungle, opened in 1858 and covering an area larger than Monaco. The entire park is man-made. Every tree, every stone, every rock, every lake was designed and built by people. It has skating areas, open fields, bridges, and public spaces. Central Park is a green work of art in the middle of skyscrapers and the concrete jungle. The story began in 1858 when the city decided to build a massive park so people could escape the noise and congestion. They chose this place, which was once swamps and rocks, and transformed it into a beautiful masterpiece. Its area is about 3.5 square kilometers, which is larger than some small countries. When you leave Central Park heading north, you reach an area called Harlem. In the 1970s and 1980s, this neighborhood suffered from poverty and crime, but over time, it began to recover again. Still, it has some homelessness and negative aspects that we'll talk about in upcoming episodes. The story of Harlem began even before the story of America itself. In the 17th century, the Dutch named it after the city of Haarlem in the Netherlands, and at first it was a quiet farming land outside the hustle of Manhattan. No, this isn't China. I haven't been to China yet, but I will one day, God willing. Right now, I'm in downtown New York City, in an area called Chinatown. As you can see, this neighborhood has everything you could imagine or need from China. You don't need to travel there. If you're in New York, Chinatown is enough. Here we say, welcome to China in the heart of Manhattan. The neighborhood is full of shops selling herbs, fish markets, and restaurants of every type and style. Chinatown began in the late 19th century as a small community. Today, Manhattan's Chinatown is one of the biggest Chinese neighborhoods in the world outside Asia, home to more than 90,000 people. And after all the noise and chaos, we move to a place of spiritual, physical, and mental peace. Give us comfort with it, O Bilal. This is the 96th Street Mosque, located in the heart of Manhattan. It has a unique location and a beautiful design. Inside, you'll find a mix of people from all over the world, young and old, some praying, some standing in worship, and others making supplication. Manhattan is full of mosques everywhere, and in fact, New York City as a whole is filled with mosques, something truly beautiful. We thank God for this blessing, and we appreciate those who maintain these mosques sincerely for the sake of Allah, and those who spend on them seeking His pleasure. It is truly something wonderful and uplifting. And finally, I'd like to say I hope you enjoyed this episode and learned the story of Manhattan. But there are still the other boroughs of New York to discover. You'll get to know them in the next episode. Write for us in the comments. What was your favorite part of this episode, and what would you like to see in the upcoming ones? With your support, we will continue and keep going, God willing.